Greetings, my friend.
Oh, hi there. My name is Prostetnik Vogon Jeffs, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the 2024 action spy comedy Argylle. It's an over-the-top Matthew Vaughn movie starring Bryce Dallas Howard, Sam Rockwell, Bryan Cranston, Catherine O'Hara, Samuel L. Jackson, and a little bit of Henry Cavill. John Cena is here too, but you barely see him. And if you're like me, and you actually stuck around until after the credits to see this, and you were like, what's this all about? Is this a Kingsman tie-in? The answer is laughably, yes. Matthew Vaughn is trying to make a shared Kingsman universe.
Oh, for the love of baby Jesus!
Spoilers, this movie is terrible and I'm going to spoil the whole thing. Alright, listen, I know Matthew Vaughn is never going to see this video, but on the infinitely small chance he does, I have a message for him. Stop it. Seriously, just stop it. Stop spending your time trying to build out the Kingsman franchise and just focus on making a good movie. You're almost capable of doing it. X-Men First Class, Kick-Ass, and even the first Kingsman, they were all perfectly acceptable. Not the greatest, but, pretty okay, and worth checking out. But ever since you've started obsessing over this franchise, things have only gotten worse. And if movies like Argylle are a glimpse of what's to come, I think we'd all be better off if you found another passion. This is not a good movie. Let's get into it. These videos will always be sponsor-free, so show your support with a like and subscribe to my channel. And check out my illustrated merch at the link in the description. Henry Cavill is a spy named Argylle, who is, if one can make any sense of this crap, both fictional and real. He's on a mission to capture Dua Lipa, a fellow spy or terrorist or, who the hell knows. Doesn't matter. It's Dua Lipa with a machine gun and riding a motorcycle. Yeah! Argylle's spy lady friend Kira gets shot, and he chases Dua Lipa through the streets, the rooftops of Greece. But he can't catch her. F***ing duh. So he gets his partner, John Cena, to just grab her off of her bike as she's passing by because, that's so cool, man, did you see how he just grabbed her off the bike like it was nothing? Wah! But don't worry if this all sounds ridiculous, because it's actually just part of a fictional story. But also, not really. Okay, so Bryce Dallas Howard, the marginally talented nepo baby of director Ron Howard, stars as Ellie Conway, a spy novelist with a Harry Potter-level fanbase. She's working on her 5th book in the Argylle series, but can't seem to finish it in a way that pleases her mother. So, planning to visit her parents for help, Ellie hops on a train because she's terribly afraid of flying for reasons unknown, where she meets a spy named Aiden Wilde, who saves her from an entire train full of inept assassins. You see, Ellie's books have been miraculously predicting real-world events, and a secret spy organization called The Division wants her taken out. You see what's happening here? So, like, the books are fiction, but also maybe they aren't? Ooh. Oh, and Ellie keeps hallucinating and seeing the fictional Argylle in place of Aiden. After a drawn-out fight, Ellie and Aiden escape and wind up at a cabin in the woods. Aiden shaves and then drives Ellie to an airport where they hop on a private jet to England. Why? Well, both Aiden and the Division are hunting for the Master Key, a thumb drive full of information that would bring down the Division and expose their nefarious goings-on. Both sides want Ellie to write the final chapter of her book in order to find out where said Master Key is located. And on a whim, Ellie thinks, hey, maybe England. So that's where they go.
Stupid!
More clue hunting and elaborate gunfights occur. Aiden drops Ellie's cat off of a roof, and blah 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 blah. Ellie overhears Aiden saying he wants to kill her, so she escapes, calls her parents for help, and meets up with them at some fancy hotel. The cat is still completely fine, by the way. Not long after meeting up with her parents, we find out that they actually are not her parents, but in fact, Division operatives. Aiden and Ellie escape to France and meet up with Sam Jackson's Alfie, a former CIA head honcho who also shares the name of her cat. He and Aiden tell Ellie that she's actually a spy named Rachel Kyle. Argylle. Argylle. Get it?
BS!
Listen, okay, I know it's a stretch, but it's important that you go along with this so the entire story isn't completely derailed. Okay?
Okay.
All right, good. So Rachel Kyle, while on a mission to recover the master key, somehow wound up in a coma. I'm not being dismissive here either. They say that in the movie. They don't know how it happened. Stop asking questions. Rachel is in a coma. And then she wakes up from that coma and gets brainwashed by Catherine O'Hara and Bryan Cranston. She's made to believe that they are her parents and that she was never a spy, but rather a figure skating writer or... this is exhausting.
I'm so angry right now.
She becomes a writer, and her stories are actually manifestations of her suppressed memories. That's why her books were predicting real-world events. Even though that's not how it works, because she's not a goddamn fortune teller. She would just be repeating shit that's already happened to her. This is so oh my god. Now, calm down. Let's just get through this. Aiden and Ellie, or Rachel, travel to the Arabian Peninsula and meet up with the Scargiver and recover the master key. Rachel is starting to remember her old life and soon finds out that she was a double agent and actually worked for the division. What a twist! I'm sorry, I can't do this anymore. Let's just get through this. She's a double agent, but she's not. Or is she? Aiden and Rachel get captured by the division. She shoots Aiden because she's bad, but actually she shot him through a super small hole in his heart or something, and he survives because she's good. They try sending the master key to Alfie, but they can't. There's some fighting. Ruth uses a music box to trigger Rachel into fighting Aiden. Kira shows up to save the day because reasons. Alfie gets the master key. Success. The end. Finally. F*** this movie. God damn it. Now, before I shit all over this movie, let's talk about a few things I actually liked. Nothing. There's nothing about this movie that I liked. I mean, Sam Rockwell is always entertaining.
I'm flattered, I think.
But no, nothing. F*** this fucking piece of fucking shit, fucking garbage movie.
Dude, chill out.
Nothing in this pompous, bloated, steaming pile of horse shit makes any sense. I've got a lot to say, so let's do this lightning round style. The Whirlybird. What is the fascination with the Whirlybird?
Do you do the Whirlybird?
Is that even a dance move?
Must you even ask?
I mean, there's an actual Whirlybird dance move. I looked it up, and this ain't it. And it's not like it just happens one time. There's a f***ing callback to this stupid shit.
Remember the Whirlybird?
What?
Is this just some sexual joke about cunnilingus that I'm not aware of? I mean, is that what we're doing here?
I guess the whirlybird doesn't catch the worm.
And the hair. What is going on with the hair in this movie?
Oh, that's very flattering.
At least Aiden calls it out on the train, but why would you do this to your actors? Do you know how hard it is to make Henry Cavill unattractive? It's nearly impossible, and yet here we are. You did it. You made him look ridiculous. The CGI. The CGI is awful. I mean, these are probably some of the worst effects I've seen in a big budget movie. This is amateurish at best. Was the entire movie filmed on a green screen? I mean, it sure feels like it. These are the kinds of effects I could achieve from my basement studio. What is happening here?
God, that was bad.
And the blink transitions. Why are we getting so many of these? I could understand it once or twice, the mirror scene with Bryce and Henry. That's when it would make sense. But we're getting blink transitions every 5 seconds in this movie. Why? Why? Oh, and I'm not going to dwell on this one for too long because someone is bound to call me a misogynist or a woman hater or something. But Bryce Dallas Howard?
Oh no. What?
I mean, Jesus Christ, woman. Get your shit together. I would have an issue with a frumpy James Bond or an overweight Captain America. So let's not make this gendered or political. If those guys need to work out a bit for their paycheck, you do too.
I see.
Enough with the turtlenecks. You're not Melissa McCarthy.
It's called a cop-out.
Still with me? Okay, I've got more. The cat. The cat is dead. There's no way that cat survived this adventure.
There's a cat in there. This cat's supposed to be in a hat, not in a backpack.
It's like the dumbest Chekhov's gun ever. Just goofy garbage. And can we get a bit of consistency when it comes to Aiden's allergies?
Had to bring the cat, man.
He's supposed to be allergic to cats,
What do you have? Allergies or something?
but apparently is only allergic when it's convenient to the scene. Why even make him allergic in the first place? It has no bearing on the story. It's only there for comic relief, and I'm being really liberal with that term. Sam Rockwell sneezing isn't exactly splitting my sides. The Beatles song. What's it called? Now and Then? That's Aiden and Rachel's song. The Beatles song that was shelved for decades and hadn't been released during the time frame of Aiden and Rachel's relationship. That's their song.
This was our song.
What do you mean?
Fuck. I love the Beatles, but I hate that song.
What?
Overrated as all hell.
Tell me that's not true!
And they play it twice in the movie. Brutal. I mean, the whole soundtrack is terrible. I get the idea of what they're going for with all of the unconventional fight scene tracks, but they just didn't work. It's like they had other more popular or better fitting songs in the chamber, locked and loaded, and then the budget dried up and they had to pick from the backup tracks. Oh god, I haven't even gotten to the worst of it yet. I've got to cut this short, otherwise we'll all be here forever.
Stop whining!
Last two things. This movie doesn't make any sort of logical sense. I mean, why were they trying to kill Ellie on the train if they also needed her to write the last chapter of her book so they could find the master key? Why is Argylle a fictional character that is actually Rachel Kyle, but also a real Argylle who shows up at the end of the movie and after the credits? Was Matthew Vaughn out of his mind when he wrote this? Am I stupid? Am I missing something? The whole movie is like this, twists and turns for no goddamn reason. And I get how it's supposed to be over the top, and I should suspend my disbelief, but this is asking me to swing my disbelief from the gallows. This is like M. Night Shyamalan on Molly. And lastly, the main reason I felt compelled to make this video, the ice skating scene. Well, what are we doing here, guys? If you've seen this movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. As Aiden and Rachel are escaping from the Division's henchmen, they find themselves trapped in an engine room gunfight. Everyone involved soon realizes that if they continue using their guns, they are bound to ignite the crude oil leaking into the room, which would be bad for, let me see here. Bad for everybody. The bad guys drop their guns and bring out the knives.
Knives up.
They're outnumbered and cornered. How, oh how, will our protagonists escape now?
Ice skating.
What kind of drugs do you take?
How about a good old-fashioned figure skating routine?
You're a really good skater.
That's right, Rachel decides to jam a couple knives into her boots, because that's how it works, and use a makeshift bayonet to take on dozens of soldiers in the absolute dumbest moment in cinematic history. I mean, we can ignore the boot knife skates, the terrible CGI oil that doesn't get Rachel dirty, and the absolute laziness of the scene in general. But if the entire point of putting your guns down was to avoid blowing the place up, using metal skates on a metal floor covered in oil is probably the dumbest thing you could do. Because that just wouldn't create a shit ton of sparks. And the icing on the cake? At the end, they just say f it, and Rachel shoots everyone anyway, making the entire scene as pointless as this entire movie.
Any last words?
I don't get it. I mean, who is this movie even made for? It feels like it's an action-adventure movie for women with the maturity level of 13-year-old boys. Is that what we're going for? Is that who we're marketing this to? This whole thing is an insult to anyone who actually enjoys intelligent, well-planned-out espionage movies, or comedies, or to anyone who just enjoys coherent storylines. It's a mess.
Unfortunately, it is.
Stop trying to make Argylle happen, Matthew. It's over. Please, God, let it be over.
That would make everything so much easier, but no.
I f***ing hate this f***ing movie.
Aren't you forgetting something?
Man, this is some bullshit!
This is live right now. One of her fans is live streaming her.
That's definitely her.
On and on and on. On and on and on and on. On and on and on and on. I say the beat don't stop till the break is done. You go.